condense it down. Right. And y'all not shopping.
No, I know to be out of it. Go ahead.
What's up, everybody? It is your boy Papa G, your favorite young old person. Okay, listen, y'all. I got my brown liquor, I got my pen and paper, and it's a Monday night, so you know what we about to get into. We about to get into these housewives of Atlanta. Real quick though, before we get everything going, before we get started with everything, look. Please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, do all three. I need all three. Okay, I need all three. Okay, it's the Holy Trinity: like, comment, and subscribe. And the next thing is, when y'all get into the comments, can we please be respectful? Listen, I know that we like to throw our little shade, and I know that we like to, you know, throw our rocks at these housewives and these Bravo liberties and all that. But these are real people, y'all. They have feelings just like you and me. So let's just make sure that we are respectful in these comments, okay? And also be respectful to me, because you know what? I'm saved, but I ain't that saved, okay? I'll cut your ass out. Amen, somebody. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into this episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And y'all, like I gotta say, I stopped watching. Can I be real, y'all? I stopped watching Atlanta for like 2 or 3 weeks because it was just boring. Okay, I'm just gonna be. It was boring. It was mid. It wasn't giving. All right, it really wasn't. But I must say that this finale episode was actually pretty good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I have to give it a solid 7. All right, a solid 7. And we're gonna dive right into it. We're gonna talk about all the things and baby, the big thing, and that is the Oakley event. Angela, baby. Was that a right move? I don't think so. I don't think it was a right move, but we're gonna get more into that in just a second. So how it all starts out is that Portia and Portia's sister go to Phaedra's house to talk about Portia's cousin, Londi, who just recently passed away. Again, condolences to the Williams family. And also, can y'all get some therapy for Portia's sister? I mean, it was said that Londi actually transitioned while she was on the phone with Portia's sister, and that Lauren, and that's just that's traumatic for me, and I wouldn't even go through it. So hopefully, Lauren is in some counseling, some well-needed counseling. But can we talk about Phaedra's wig though? Like, why Phaedra opened up the door looking like Edna from The Incredibles? Okay, I love the fit though. I really love the fit. The fit was nice. It was very curvaceous. It was all that. But she opened up the door, and all I could think about was that little lady from The Incredibles. Okay, and y'all look, Phaedra. I like Phaedra. Let me just call it out. I do like Phaedra, but Phaedra be saying some weird ish. She really do. Like, for example, when Portia then was talking about the funeral arranger, she was like, "Oh, ain't that pastor cute?" Look, I'm in bereavement. I ain't got time to be looking at a pastor. I really truly don't. This man got one job and one job only, and that is console me and my family in our time of bereavement. We ain't got time to be looking at him like that. That's a man of God. Okay? I ain't got time to be looking like that. That's just ugh. And listen, I come from a preacher family background. My dad's a pastor. Okay. And the ladies just, I don't know what it is about pastors and pastors' kids that people want to just throw themselves at. I don't know, y'all. That's just, y'all let me know what y'all think of what that is, huh? Because we do like to lay hands on people. Amen, somebody. Well, at least I do. Amen, somebody. Next up after that is Angela, and we're going to her and her therapist's office, Dr. Wendy. And first thing that they talk about is the real estate ventures that Angela is in. And I mentioned this on my previous video, but I really got to question Angela's business sense, right? I don't know what possessed her or what made her think that just going out and getting 5 properties or acquiring 5 properties and you ain't sold not one? Like, you just dug yourself in a deeper and deeper hole. And now that hole is so deep that not only she's in it, but apparently Charles is in it too. Charles is in it as well, because she talks about how these 5 real estate properties are causing some financial strain in her marriage. Yeah, and so maybe not so much on Charles's part, but it is causing some strain in their marriage. And I really do question, why did she buy all those properties and not sold not one? But even with that, she also said that, look, if I gotta lose all 5, I gotta lose all 5. And I'm like, dang, baby, all 5? Because they always say that she's, like $2 million in debt. So if she loses all 5, that's $2 million down the drain. That's a lot of money. I don't care who you is. I don't know who just want to just lose $2 million. At least normal people like me. Okay. But one thing that the counselor points out is that she points out that, hey, what did you learn from this? Because again, everything, sometimes you got to buy lessons. That's what my granny used to tell me. Sometimes you got to buy lessons. And Angela had to buy that lesson. And that may be a very uh, expensive lesson, but she had to buy it nevertheless, right? But she in that moment, Angela said, hey, I learned to trust who I trust. And I trust Charles. And Charles told me not to do this. Let's just wait a minute for a minute now. I just got one question, and that is, why is Charles told you not to do this? Right? I feel as men, as strong traditional men, look, I'm a traditional man as well. I like going out making the money, and my honey being at home taking care of the house. I like that. That's just me. And I feel like Charles is that way as well. So I understand that. But one thing that I have to ask is, why did Charles tell you not to do this? Did he tell you not to go so fast? Did he tell you not to buy all these properties? Did he tell you not to do the real estate venture at all? Right? And so that's something that I wish we would have got a little bit more into, because if Charles told you not to do this at all, Charles, I don't understand why. Who doesn't want their significant other to have their own? And I don't think that's what you mean. I don't think that's how Angela meant it. At least I hope I don't. And so, yeah, it's just weird, right? It's just weird why he would make that. But in the same instance, in that same scene, we also see how much Angela loves Charles, and that's been a constant theme throughout this season. We see that she is ride or die for Mr. Charles Oakley, right? And so um it was just really, I don't say weird scene, but it was very, very touching scene at that. The second thing that I want to dive into with Angela's therapy session is, Charles said that he feels like he's being attacked. Like he wakes up feeling like he's going to be attacked. And my question to that is, why? Is it because of your past? Is it because of your what people may say about you? Is it because of your popularity? Why do you feel like you are always being attacked? That is such a a depressing, heavy feeling to carry, that you always feel like you're going to be attacked. So, and Angela didn't go into it, right? She's like, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go. Go there, and that's fine, right? That's fine. But that is something to. I hope that we get to see why does he feel like. I hope Andy asks some good ass questions and asks why does he always feel attacked? Because we would like to know. The people would like to know. Moving right along, we are at Shamia's concert or road show or whatever you want to call it. At any rate, she is showing her music, right? And one thing that, at least in the earlier episodes of Atlanta, like they really did try to push Shamia's single Never Had, right? I think that was actually the background was actually a transition, the music for a transition scene. You know, we had that scene at the vault with the ladies where Portia's like, I think that's Drew. That's not Shamia. I think that's Drew. Y'all, listen, my friends know that I sing, right? Now, I ain't gonna sit up there and say that I'm about to drop some music or anything like that. But my friends know that I sing. And I am sure that if I were to play me singing on a video, I'm pretty sure that they would be like, yeah, that's JT. That's Papa right there. That is Papa G right there. Right? Like, anyway, but I say all that to say that they really did a good job of trying to give her music story and give her ample time to show her music on the show. Now we are to the point where it's the showcase. There it is. That was the word that I was looking for. The showcase. And y'all, we see Shamia's husband off the FaceTime, y'all. I mean, I know that, you know, Karen Hugo on Potomac was like, Jamal Bryant lives in the phone. Baby, Gerald lived in the phone this season. Okay, we saw Gerald maybe one or two times in real life. We saw him at that party, and then we saw him here at this showcase. I ain't seen Gerald no other time besides on the FaceTime. Okay. Did he even show up for the reunion? I didn't see him in the clip. I didn't see him in the clip. No, because Shamia sat on the side with Angela, and the only person that was on that side, husband-wise, was Charles. Baby, Shamia's husband lived in the FaceTime. He lives in the FaceTime. But one thing that kind of tickled me with Miss Britt Edie is that she kind of gave Kelly the same type of energy or the same type of that Kelly gave her at that event at Phaedra's shop. My girl went to everybody. Oh, hi, hey, girl. Oh, you look cute. Oh, hey. Like, to me, y'all, are we five? Are we five? Like, that's an ish that I would do in high school. These women are 30, 40 plus. Why are we, baby? Britt did a Dionne Ward, baby, and just walked on by. Okay, and I'm not understanding why, right? Like, I don't understand this, why Kelly and Britt just fell off, because they rolled so hard for each other. I mean, you had speakerphone, Kelly, Amen, and everything else that Britt said. Britt didn't reciprocate, but that's neither here nor there. But they was given the Temu version of freaking frack. And we gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. Well, baby, them lug bolts or nuts, baby, they must not have been screwed in tight because them wheels fell off quite early. Okay, them wheels fell off quite early. At least, Quad and Mariah lug nuts stayed on. At least them wheels stayed on their friendship at least to the first season. Britt and Kel didn't even make through the first season, y'all. They didn't even make through the first season. What? Really? That's what we. Okay. All right. I still don't understand what the beef is about, though. Besides Kelly saying that, they apparently made Britt look better than she did. So if that's the case, why don't you just pull your stylist to the side and be like, well, why can't I do that? Why can't I wear that? Why can't I do that? But to be honest with you, Kelly, to tell you the truth, this whole stylist fiasco that you are going through is really a blessing in disguise. Okay? Because the fits weren't given. The fashions, where were they? Where were they? I didn't see them. Your makeup was done real cute. Okay, you was real put together in the face. But your wardrobe, in the words of Britt Eady about Shamia's performance, it needed some work. It just needed a little work. You get an E for effort. And speaking of Britt Eady, why her ass always got something to say about every little thing? Britt Eady rubbed my butthole raw. She really do. Because, why do you have something to say about every little thing? And then the one time you throw an event, ain't nobody can eat. The one time, ain't nothing together. Baby, my studio in here was more put together than that event that Britt Eady put together. And she had production there. Y'all, I can't stand people like that. I cannot stand people who always got something to say negatively, but when it's their time to show up and show out, it's lackluster. I just don't understand that. I just don't understand that. So Shamia, you know what I'm saying? She comes out, she do her little numbers and all of that. And Miss Pat was there hosting the show. Okay. And I like Miss Pat. Miss Pat funny to me. This ain't no shade to Miss Pat. I would have loved to see somebody in the music business, and this is Atlanta, y'all. I mean, you can throw a rock and hit somebody, music producer or somebody who's in the music business to help, host a showcase. So I would have loved to see an actual, someone in the music business to actually headline the showcase. But again, they didn't ask me for my comments. Hell, who am I, babe? I'm just a YouTuber, okay? I am just a YouTuber. And then Drew Sidora, girl, sit right here and let's talk about it, huh? Baby, can we be like Tevin Campbell? Can we talk? Because I just need to know, who died and made you the new Whitney Houston? Girl, you think you are Patti LaBelle, Stephanie Mills, Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin, Anita Baker? You think you got them type of vocals to be talking about Shamia? I hate to say it, Drew, but you and Shamia are in the same ballpark, baby. Y'all in the same field. Truth be told, I know you, Drew Sidora, from your acting skills than from your vocal ability. Well, I ain't never had to reach that hard for a high note. Baby, when have you hit one? When have you hit a high note? Because I ain't heard it. I ain't heard it. You and Dennis done went up there and auto-tuned and this and that. Okay? Where are the high notes? Where are they? Okay? Where are they? Because I can't find them, baby. And I don't think you can either. Now, listen now. Now, I say that in jest, though, and just because let me just be. Drew can sing. I'm not taking anything from her vocal ability. Drew can sing. I haven't listened to her album, but you know, that's just me though. You know, that has nothing to do with Drew's vocal ability or skills. Again, I like I told y'all, I have an old soul. So you get in my car, baby. We listen to Aretha, Anita, Whitney, old school Mariah, Gladys, the OJs, Frankie Beverly, and Maze. Like that's what you're gonna listen to when you get in my car. You ain't gonna be listening to. We're not gonna be listening to no Drew Sidora. I just don't listen to a whole lot of new music in general. So I mean, take these comments with a grain of salt. But what I will say though, and that is, you know, I like Drew. I'm gonna need you to sing circles around somebody before you make them type of comments. And I get it. I get it. You saw your opportunity and you took it. And I ain't mad at you, right? I ain't mad at you because Shamia has been shading you all throughout this season. Okay. So you saw your you saw your opening and you said, this is my lane, this is my wheelhouse. So I'm gonna talk about it. And can't nobody tell me ish about it. And that's true. Because singing is your wheelhouse per se. But again, I think you're a better actress than you are a singer, and that's okay. There are many people who are better actors and actresses than singers. I'm not gonna name them here because, baby, y'all not about to drag me in these comments. But this is just my opinion, okay? So after the showcase, the ladies gather up and they are at, you know, I guess the backstage or the show. I don't know where they're at, but if the ladies gather around, okay, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The ladies have gathered around and they're just talking amongst themselves about the show. You know, each lady gives Shamia some either constructive criticism like Britt and Drew, or high praise like Kelly. I just wonder if, you know, if her and Shamia ever fall out, will we ever hear, showcase was good anyway. Like I just wonder, would that be the thing? Because baby, when her and Britt fell out, baby, the fact that she just called her, you pill popping roommate. Like, dang. Like, y'all ain't even fell out that hard yet, and you already bringing that up, you know? But it's Britt and versus Kelly, round 2. And this time we're talking about subscribers. Speaking of, please subscribe to this channel, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. We are talking about these housewives of Atlanta. Okay, these housewives of Atlanta. If you loving what you hearing, if you disagreeing or agreeing with what you hear, let me know. I need to know, y'all, so I can make sure that I'm giving you what you need. Okay, because when you come over to Papa House, okay, when you come to Papa House, he gonna make sure you got you some good food. He gonna make sure you entertain. pain, okay, he gonna make sure that you're right. Okay. So please, 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 please like, comment, and subscribe. At any rate, they are talking about Kelly's subscribers. And so, Kelly's like, I have 150. And I think Drew's trying to be just a tad bit shady. She's like, 150 what? As if Kelly can't have 150,000 followers. And then here come Britt. Well, some of those are fake. Like, I was looking at your page, and like, when we were close, like you only had 70,000. So I'm like, oh wow, you grew like 80,000 followers. Wow. Britt, how many followers you got? Can somebody let me know how many followers Britt Edie has? Where's my production team? I need my production team to let me know how many followers does Britt Edie have. Okay, that's what I need to know. I need to know this, and the people want to know this. Because again, if you gonna talk your ish, please, 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 make sure you're on top of your game. Okay. All right. Moving right along, y'all. Moving right along. There was a couple filler scenes that I'm gonna touch on lightly, and that is, the scene with Kelly kids. Kelly kids are spoiled, okay? And I understand that spoiled kids don't spoil themselves. I get that. I really truly do. I get that. I understand that. But Kelly kids are spoiled. They really are. And I just anyway, moving right along. God bless whoever they marry, honestly, because they mama has spoiled the living heck out of them. And then whoever they marry, they're going to expect that same type of treatment, and look, this is coming from a spoiled child. I'm spoiled, okay? I'm spoiled. My mom spoiled me. My granny spoiled me, right? So I know what I know when I got in my relationship, I was looking for the same type of treatment. And baby, talk about a new attitude, baby. My baby showed me real quick. No, that's what your mama and granny do. That ain't what I'm gonna do. Okay? All right. So we get to Drew house, and it's a nice little scene. Ralph is playing the piano. He has asked Drew's permission. Can he come up from the basement? That's just such an odd living arrangement for me. It really is. Like, is the house not big? That house looks big, right? The house looks big to me. I just feel like there's enough room that where Ralph can sleep in a guest room, and y'all can still do what y'all need to do. Y'all can still cohabitate in the same space and be fine. But okay. That's if that's what you want to do, go ahead. Go ahead. Anyway, so Ralph asked to come up from the basement. And when he comes up from the basement, he think he's smoking Norfolk, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Jamie Foxx. And he playing on the piano and John Legend. We're just ordinary people. Like, and so, Drew comes around and he's like, how did we get here? How did we get here? And baby, I said, Ralph is not only playing this piano, but he is playing in Drew's face. He is playing in Drew's face. Because how the heck you going to be halfway through a divorce proceeding? You done moved down to the basement. The basement. Huh? And you up here talking about how did we get here? This just what? What you mean, how did we get here? Lack of communication is how we got here. Not trusting. Trust. Distrust is how we got here. Lack of emotional support is how we got here. Lack of emotional intelligence is how we got here. Pick one. Pick one. All right, that's all I want to say on that scene, y'all. That's really it. And so then after that, I think there's another little scene, and I may be getting my scenes mixed up here, but I think there's another little scene where Britt is supposedly buying a plane. And she's like, oh, this is real nice. Is this big enough? Is this big enough? Who y'all, who gonna be on the plane? Because of what you showed us, you and your family ain't all that cool since your father has passed, and I'm sorry to hear that. And yeah, Mike family come around, but y'all don't give me I don't know why that just happened like that, but y'all don't give me the we're gonna take a family vacation on a private plane. Y'all don't. Y'all don't give me, yeah, everybody, let's get on this plane and then let's go and go to Aruba or someplace. To be honest with you, y'all don't even give me like we buy a private plane or even chartering one. Y'all give me first class. Y'all give me first class. But again, you know, Britt, and this is where people have an issue with you, and that is, you know, you put on these airs. You know, you show that you have a Rolls Royce, a G-Wagon in your driveway, which look great. They look lovely. You know, you wear these designer clothes, and you talk about when you had your insurance agency, you took your staff and they got all types of plastic surgeries and things like that. And so like you have all of this oomph, right? But when it's time to show up, like I said earlier, when it's time to show up, where are you? I would like to know, did she donate to the Oakley Foundation? I would like to know, did she donate to the Charles Oakley Foundation? I would like to know what this was her actual cash donation. And Britt, you can't hide behind what I asked. I asked what to give. I asked you, Shamil, what to give. No, that's not. When you about it, you don't need to be asking anyone. This is okay. Look, I got a check. Let me write this check. And let me just be clear here. I'm not saying all because you have it, that means you got to get it too. I hate when people feel that all because these people are wealthy that they need to just be giving their money away. No, if they want to make millions or billions of dollars and don't want to give a dime of it away, that's their business. That is their business. But I do feel that if you're going to say that you're going to participate, then, you know, you need to be about it. Plain and simple as that. You need to be about it. All right. I got Brit scene on here, but I mean, since she don't quit the show, and we know this, we know she don't quit the show. I'm not even going to talk about it. You know, I touched on it a little bit earlier. Like, the family dynamic is weird. It's really weird. Her family dynamic, her being Britt Edie's family, because you know, death usually is supposed to bring people together. But in this instance, it seems as though it has driven her and her family apart. And it just doesn't make any sense to me, because I feel like, I really do feel like everyone loved that man being Britt's father. I really do feel like her mother loved him. Britt's mother loved him. Britt loved him. I really do feel like Britt gives me a daddy's girl, right? She gives me pampered princess, daddy's girl. You can't do no wrong. Come here, daddy's baby. There go daddy, baby. Come here. Look at daddy's baby. Like, she gives me that. And so I just feel that if you love your father, and I know you do, I just feel that you should try to be more and you know, bring your family together. That's just me though. That's just me though. Right? And so now we're to the main event, y'all. Y'all, we are at the main event. This is it, baby. This is what Angela has been waiting for. Y'all, as a matter of fact, give me 1 minute. We're gonna be right back. Okay? Because the brother needs some water. Okay, we're gonna be right back, y'all. Okay, hold on. Hold the line. Oh Lord, thank y'all. Oh Lord, I had to go up here and give me some water. Okay, had to come up here and give me some H2O. That liquor was just doing too much. Okay, and all these voice modulations that I'm doing, baby, it was just too much for my throat. Okay, but my production team did come back to me, and apparently Britt Edie has 189,000 followers on the Instagram. Okay, um, I wonder how many of those are fake. I'm sorry, I just had to. I had to. That was just too. That was just too much. That was just opportunity was just right there. I couldn't help myself. But now we are at the Charles Oakley event, baby. Angela got her pen and paper too, baby. Okay, and she is ready. She is ready. Okay, baby, her and Drew, baby, call them the new Sherlock and Watson, baby. Okay, because they are ready to just let it out there. So they thought. And we're gonna get into real quick. But all right, before first of all, I want to take a little sidebar and just talk about the Charles Oakley Foundation. I mean, from the mission that was said on the show, I really do like it. I do. I like that Charles is taking something that he likes to do, such as cook, and he's using that, and he's actually feeding, you know, he's actually feeding the needy. I really do like that, right? It's just something about when you mix your passion with charity that just gives it a even more satisfying what is the word I'm looking for? It gives it a more satisfying taste to someone's mouth, or no pun intended. Okay, no pun intended. But here we are, y'all. We are at the Charles Oakley event, and you know, while they're doing that, they say that Drew and Angela met with Marcus, the guy who was in last episode, who said, "Cheers! If your name is Angela Oakley and your husband is cheating on you." You know, people like him give gay people a bad name. You know, people like him set gay people back 100 years. I promise you they did. Like a messy queen. Okay? A messy queen. And don't get me wrong, the gay community is filled with messy people. Okay. But it's just something when you go and you intentionally you show that is your purpose. I'm messy. Don't get me wrong. I'm messy. I'm petty. I'm all the things. But dang it, I'm doing this for entertainment purposes. I'm not gonna go to uh Williams and Sonoma and drop some tea or whatever that somebody put me up to. Do you not know how low of a person that you gotta be to do that? Do you not know how desperate and destitute you must be to fall for the okie doke? So Drew and Angela, they met with Marcus, and I guess Marcus's accomplice. Hell, I don't know. I don't know this man. In the words of Kenya, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I was about to say in the words of Kenya Moore, who is this? Huh? But they met with him, and Angela's like, so when did you see Charles? When did you see Charles? It was in June. Baby Angela, you're lying. Okay, and you're not even a good one at that. Okay, pause right there. I'm gonna pause right there. All right. I wish I had a pause. Angela, if Marcus and his accomplice, if you found that Marcus and his accomplice was lying to you then, why would you think of this scheme and put it on the night of your husband's, you and your husband's big charity event? Like, you already found out that it was a lie. So who the cares if somebody paid this man to do that? You found out it was a lie. That's the gag. That is the gag. But yet you thought of this scheme. You and Drew thought of this scheme, and y'all brought it to this group, and it fell flat, like some of Shamia notes. It fell flat, baby. It did. It did. But here we go. Here we go. Maybe I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But hold on. No, I'm gonna say that. Hold on. As I say, just remember I said hold on. So I said Britt gets on my nerve. What did she do about Shamia's work? Lord, what did I mean by that? Anyway, Britt gets on my nerve. Okay, she really do. Britt gets on my everlasting nerve. And this has nothing to do with her as a person. I'm sure as a person, I'm sure she's a lovely person in person. Like, take her out of this show. I feel like she's a fun time. I would feel like she would be a fun time. But I feel that Britt is so performative. I feel like Britt is so performative. Even when Portia had to exit stage left, because she just got so caught up in emotion, and Britt was like, it's okay. It's okay. You still a bad bitch. It's okay. Like, it just seems performative. When she was trying to console Shamia, it just seems performative. It doesn't seem genuine. And if it is, then Britt, babe, I'm gonna need you to fix it. Okay? I'm gonna need you to do something. Unfortunately, well, I guess you don't have to do anything because you quit. So, oh well, all right. And so that's like the pre, like right. You know how when you cooking and you got something on the stove and it's not boiling, but you see that steam rolling up, it's simmering. That this is what this is the scenes right here, or the actions. It's just simmering. And so there it is. That's what it was. It was actually wasn't even at it wasn't even at the Oakley event. I do believe it was at Shamia's concert where Shamia and Britt had words. And Shamia's like, why are you lying? You know, Britt was like, Shamia, you do talk about shop. You do. And y'all, can we stop calling Britt a hoe? Like, can we stop doing that? For real. For real. Like, no, none of y'all can call each other hoes. And all of y'all do some hoe shit. You know, like I don't get it. And Britt, this is my like this is me, y'all, saying, although I don't like Britt on the show, I still don't want Britt to be mistreated. I can dislike you and still not want you to be mistreated. And I just didn't like the fact that Shamia just kept calling Britt a hoe. Like Shamia. Were you up there talking about blowing in Portia booty hole or something like that? Like, ain't that some whole shit? I just want to know. I need to know, right? I'm like, baby, I'm like Joe. I want to know. I just want to know, right? And so, baby, let me move my paper, baby, because I told you I was taking some notes on it. So here we go. Now we're about to boil. Okay, now we're about to boil. And here we go. They bring back Marcus. Let me sit up for this. They bring back Marcus. And Marcus sits down, and and Angela has made this great speech about, I was here and there's a snake among us and all this other whatever the hell she said. And they bring back Marcus, and Marcus was like, somebody paid me to be there. Angela says, who? Phaedra. Baby, when I tell you Phaedra said what? When I tell you Phaedra looked more confused, and let me tell you something, y'all. I know Phaedra is known to tell a bad lie when the truth pursues her. Okay? That is true like nothing else. Phaedra would tell a bad lie, not even a good one. She would tell a bad lie when the truth will suit her better, baby. As my grandma used to say, that's a cabbage head lie right there, baby. That's a lie that just falls like cabbage. It falls as the more you pluck, it just falls, baby. And that's the kind of lies that Phaedra tell. But in this instance, though, baby, Phaedra is, I believe Phaedra. I believe Phaedra. I really, truly do. I don't believe Phaedra had nothing to do with this. I don't. It don't make any sense. It does not make any sense. And so, and so, they bring back Marcus and, and just, can you tell me who it is? And he's like, it's Phaedra. Phaedra is known as the godfather of Atlanta. And at that point, I really want to say that Angela fed him that line. simply because Angela made this whole Godfather reference after, you know, all the rigmarole. And again, that read fell flat, like some of Shamia's notes, as well, because, you know, Bravo is trying to target a specific audience, right? They tried to target what made Real Housewives of Atlanta so successful is because, excuse me, they were able to target a good demographic and a good age group of people, like 18 to mid 30s, I think. Don't quote me though. And as the show progressed, so did them people. So guess what? If you caught them when they were young, yeah, they're just gonna be with you to the end of time. Angela, when you made that Godfather reference, I was sitting here thinking, who the hell knows what the Godfather is? Sub 30. Really sub 35. Now I know what the Godfather is. Because I told y'all, I am a old young person. Okay, my soul is old, y'all. It's old. Hell, I was back there with Aretha in there. But I just don't understand. Like again, I just don't understand. Like it just didn't read. It didn't give anything. It was just a weird thing to say, you know. But then so Marcus says it was Junebug. Junebug gave him the information, and y'all, I said, child, not Junebug. At that point, if I was Angela and Drew, I was like, you know what, baby, go ahead and leave. Go ahead and leave. Because if this was supposed to be the mic drop, if this was the smoking gun to tie Phaedra to this mess, again, it didn't give. It didn't give. And what you wound up doing is not only making a fool of, well, Marcus already made himself a fool. Not only did you make yourself look like a fool, but now you have gave us a peek, baby, of how you and Charles go back and forth. You have given us a peek on how you and Charles go, because baby, like, and Charles, I ain't trusting your ass with this shit. And baby, that's telling right there, baby. Okay, so let's go back to when Angela was at Dr. Wendy's office. And she's like, I trust Charles. Baby, Charles said, I don't trust your ass with this. And in this instance, okay, I gotta agree with Charles. Charles felt blindsided. He did. Like, you already debunked that this man was lying. Why the hell are you gonna bring this man to clear your husband's name? Because let me tell you something. Them ladies are gonna think whatever the hell they want to think about Charles. They're gonna think whatever the hell they want to think about Charles. Whether he's good, bad, or indifferent, they're gonna whatever. If I was Charles in that instance, yeah, I'll be want to get the bro out too. Because like you're not gonna sit up there and tell me that you're gonna bring someone who disrespected you. I didn't hear it, so I say. But you gonna bring the person who disrespected you and our marriage to an event that you and I are hosting? No. You can miss me with that shit. You can miss me with that bullshit right there, for real. Okay. And essentially, the ladies don't believe it. The ladies don't believe it. And baby, Aunt Bertha made a comeback. And when I tell you that was the funniest thing, Portia, you have not given us anything this season. But baby, I'm so happy that you gave us that line. Maybe it was a scheme that Todd set up to come Tell you with the bullshit. Like that. Full circle moment. Full circle moment, and I was here for it. That's how you reach back to the past and bring something present. That good job. Seriously, good job on that. Portia, again, you didn't give us nothing this season, but you at least gave us that. You at least gave us that. That good job. But I just let's dissect this for a little bit. And so, Angela and Phaedra have words. And Angela says, you have something, I have something that you want. And Phaedra's like, what? What do you want? What do you have that I want? And let me just tell y'all something. If Phaedra ain't nothing, she is smart and she is rich. Okay? If she ain't nothing else, the heifer is smart, the heifer is rich, and the heifer gonna have a job. Okay? The heifer gonna have a job. And so when Phaedra asks Angel, what do you have that I want? Baby, that is what a boss person says. What? What? What do you have that I want that I can't buy myself or I can't get on my own? Please let me know. Please let me know. And Angela's like, I have a marriage. Baby, let me tell you something. A marriage is not a read anymore. I'm going to say that one more time. A marriage is not a read anymore. Okay? Housewives across all sectors, please stop that. Please stop going and getting this kindergarten read. Because some of y'all are in marriages that nobody want to be in. Angela, we put you on the list, baby. Because what we saw this season, we don't want that. We don't want that. Your man can't even tell you that he loves you on camera. Who want that? Who? And again, I tried my best to be a very understanding of Charles and where he come from and just the age gap and like all of that plays a factor. Because I believe that Charles loves Angela. I really truly do. I really do believe that he loves that lady. But Angela, baby, a marriage, and especially you the last person that needs to be talking about a marriage and using it as a read. You are the last. Okay? You are definitely the last. But baby, if one thing Phaedra gonna have, she gonna have some. She may not have had that information from Junebug, but baby, she definitely had that information in her back pocket about them foreclosures. She definitely had that information in her back pocket about them foreclosures. Foreclosures with an S. Okay? With an S, plural. Okay? And let me tell you something. Phaedra had that one because she came back with it too quickly. Well, you're researching, but you have failed to tell us that you're in foreclosure. But you know what I like about Angela, though? Angela stand 10 toes down in it. She's like, yeah, I am. Yep, I'm in foreclosure. Now what? Now what? If you think you're gonna get me down about some foreclosures, plural, because she had more than one. You're not gonna do it. And I gotta applaud. I gotta applaud Angela for that. Because it is nothing better than when you can stand 10 toes down in your truth, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. Right? And so it just Angela didn't give. I was rooting for you too, baby. I really was. I'm like, oh, she done found out who it was, baby. We about to find out who it is. And what we found out is it was Junebug who left an envelope and they met at a mall. This gives 1970s Watergate. This gives 1970s Watergate. I got the trench coat with the fedora and the glasses and like Phaedra's smart, y'all. And again, she made a great point. Why would I get back to the platform that I really want to be on? Because let's just be real, Phaedra didn't want to be on that Married to Medicine. And we talk about that in another video. But Phaedra didn't want to be on that Married to Medicine. She did not. Okay, she did not want to be on there. That was a scheme that NBC Universal set up. Okay, if we're gonna talk about scheme, that was a scheme that NBC Universal set up to see if we can segue Phaedra back to her Housewives. Now since Candy gone, baby, let me tell you something. Okay, the kid when I went down there to Baylor University and got my degree in accounting, and then turned around and got my master's degree in business administration, my MBA. Baby, they taught me, okay, they taught me how to strategize. And that was a great strategy by NBC Universal to place Phaedra on Married to Medicine to see how she's going to play. That way they can segue her back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Phaedra made a great point when she said, baby, I just came back. Why the hell I just came back from being banished. Why would I do this? Why would I do this? It doesn't make sense. So I hope, Angela, that you can connect these dots at the reunion. I really do. Because, baby, these dots are going to never land, okay? These dots are going to never land. I was rooting for you. Okay, in my Tyra Banks voice. I was rooting for you. We were rooting for you. We were. And you let us down. Hopefully you make it up in the reunion. Well, that's all I got, y'all. Okay. That's all I got. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this Real Housewives of Atlanta season finale game over episode. How would you rate it? Would you rate it? Like, give me your ratings. I need to know. I need to know what y'all think. Am I the only one thinking like this? Because I think different, y'all. I really do. I think different. Okay, and my thinking is thrown off at times. Y'all gonna find out as we go on this journey together. But y'all let me know what you think. Again, do the Holy Trinity. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, and until next time, y'all, Papa love you. Peace.